Alright, it's November 23rd, almost Thanksgiving. So, major developments in Russia. Footage shows possible drone strike over major power station near Moscow. So, Ukraine launched some suicide drones and missiles, or what did they say? Long range suicide drones have struck the Shator power plant in Moscow. So, this is one of the oldest electricity and heat generation facilities. It says playing an important part in supplying the wider Moscow region with heat and electricity. So this is a big power plant type of situation, and I'm sure they have backup stuff. I don't think the entire city is gonna have no electricity because of this, but it is gonna you know cause some people to be without electricity, I would assume, as we enter into winter. So this is kind of strategically planned, in my opinion. And also, Zelensky feels like he has nothing to lose. So, yeah. But anyway, we talked about this a while ago. Zelensky said that he's going to strike inside of Russia. Apparently, he was talking about Moscow, the capital. So, this isn't a surprise at all. It's not a surprise at all. It shouldn't be a surprise to Russia. Now, they probably will retaliate now because they're already in a war. And I don't know what that's going to look like because they're about to win the war anyway. So it's like, I don't know what they could really do other than just end the war and win it, basically. Um, so yeah, this was to be expected. Zelensky said he was going to do this, and here we are. And again, this isn't like a huge major thing because it's not like Moscow is going to be without electricity. But it might up the pricing there. It also, there's probably small portions of the area that will be without electricity as we enter winter. So looks like Zelensky made the move, and we'll see how Russia responds. Um, yeah, so because we have that peace deal that they already rejected. So, Zelensky, he can do this, and basically he has nothing to lose. So, yeah. So we'll see what Russia does in response. I don't even know if the news is talking about this. And then U.S. to launch new phase of Venezuela operations. Options include overthrowing Maduro. One day after the FAA issued the NOTAM, which I talked about yesterday, or an alert notifying pilots of potential serious hazards in certain airspace for this flight information region above, Venezuela. Reuters reported that the U.S. is poised to launch a new phase of Venezuela-related operations in the coming days. Well, you shouldn't just trust Reuters. But like I said, this is coming to a head. Obviously, the administration doesn't want Maduro to be leading Venezuela. And it looks like a strike will happen. But now the question is, will there be some sort of regime change, which is what nobody wants. This is a very sensitive topic with, also Iran. Um, we don't want regime change anywhere if it requires boots on the ground or any foreign conflict. So I don't know exactly how this is going to play out because obviously the administration wants regime change, but they also know they can't just invade Venezuela and do it that way. Um, so we'll see what happens. But either way, the U.S. is about to do something in Venezuela, and Maduro should just basically accept any deal that he gets because it's just not looking good for him. He's kind of in a deep hole now. It's not like he's going to be able to stay there forever if the U.S. continues this type of uh, escalation. So yeah, something's about to happen, and it looks like everybody's aware of it, even Reuters. President Trump is prepared to use every element of American power to stop drugs from flooding into our country and bringing those responsible to justice. Yeah, that's just talking points. They're not doing this for drugs. if they really wanted to go after drugs, they'd go after China directly and Mexico directly. They just want U.S. favorability in the regime that whoever it is running Venezuela, because Trump wants hemispheric dominance, even though we already have it, but he definitely wants an oil-rich country like Venezuela to be pro-America. That's kind of all that's happening here. But either way, something's going to happen soon. Looks like the U.S. might just be like waiting for Maduro to respond or something. I don't know. But knowing Trump, he probably gave him a deadline like he did with Iran. We will never know what that is until the operation happens. So we'll see what happens, because obviously the US will do something, but will there also be regime change? The US will strike and do their thing, but when that happens, will there simultaneously be, will he step down? Like, we'll see. But it's probably going to happen very soon. Candace Owens claims Macron has ordered to assassinate her. Yeah, so she was saying that the French president, Brigitte Macron, is a man. And the problem with this is that the the person with Emmanuel Macron is a man. So she's actually not saying anything that's factually wrong here. But the problem is this is the president of France. So yeah, he probably has some resources to shut her down. But here's the thing, Candace Owens is so popular. She is so popular that if they were to kill her like right now, it would look bad on them because she's already claiming that they're trying to kill her. She'd basically be a martyr. Um, yeah. So I don't think they're actually going to go kill her because she's so popular and because it would look too suspicious on them. But, they're probably going to do something to silence her in some way. That doesn't necessarily mean assassination, but here's the thing, they probably were going to assassinate her until she said this publicly. Who knows, honestly? Because Macron has some weird stuff. Like, he wants all of his secrets to be hidden. Like, even when he got caught, when his husband, I should say, slapped him, and he saw the camera and he got like so scared. Like, he's just like, he's hiding stuff. He's just like one of those people. But but because she's basically publicly saying this, they might not be able to assassinate her now. Because she's not like me. She doesn't just have like a YouTube show. She has like millions of people watching her every day on all platforms. So yeah, we'll see what they do, but because they probably will do something because Macron is that sensitive, which is kind of weird because if they're so pro trans, I'm not sure why they're not coming out as like Obama. Like, he should just come out at that and say, yes, Michelle is a man, because I think their base would actually enjoy that. But yeah, I don't know. They like to hide stuff, but which also tells me Macron is hiding some other stuff. But we also know that Macron has a very interesting past, so that explains it. Rubio confirms Ukraine peace plan authored by U.S. as leaders meet in Geneva. Yeah, that plan was leaked. This 28-point plan, I saw this whole plan before this was disclosed to the media. And I knew right away that basically Ukraine isn't going to accept this. And there's just too many things in there. It's basically giving Russia a lot what they want and not Ukraine. But, it is what it is. Now, Ukraine's just going to have to accept it or die, which is kind of what Trump said. He also said this isn't the final peace agreement that he has in mind. But he said if they don't accept, then he's just going to have to keep fighting. And, that's basically where we're going to be at soon. I'm sure Russia would agree to this and the US, but not Ukraine. and not Zelensky, I should say. Ukraine would accept it, but the leader of Ukraine would not, because that's just how it is. So basically, it's just another one of these things. They've had so many peace plans that were rejected. This is just going to be another one. It's not even that big of a deal. So, but yeah, they're not going to accept it, and Ukraine's probably just going to have to die because of it. Trump reportedly preparing to designate Muslim Brotherhood as foreign terrorist organization. Well, it's about time. Um, yeah, this is a long time coming. Obviously, they've been corrupt for a long time. They've been in the hands of Mamdani, but also people like Obama and other people care. So, like, this is a long time coming. Obviously, this would never be done under any other president that we've ever had. So, this is good. Like, but when this happens, like, they still have to like charge the leaders of these groups and follow the money. Kind of like Antifa, like they designated them terrorist organization, but like there's only been like one arrest. So it's not like this is gonna result in anything immediate, but hopefully as the years go on, there's more investigations into this because we've all known that for years. Ex Pfizer exec, there was no pandemic, it was all one big lie. So this was Michael Edon, who was very public about COVID and the vaccines when it first was happening a few years ago. And yeah, he said that basically it wasn't a pandemic, it was all made up. The virus, the vaccines, it was all man made. But we all know this. I just wanted to point this out that he's still talking about it, as he should. And yeah, this guy was an ex Pfizer exec. Say that 10 times fast. So, and I believed him in the beginning. He doesn't seem to be lying for fame like some doctors. Um, but you know, I'm kind of surprised this guy's still alive, to be honest. But anyway, just want to say that he was still making noise. And then just some headlines here. So the FBI delivers final verdict on Trump would-be assassin. Yeah, final verdict, I don't know. I'm pretty sure we can reopen that case and do a new investigation. Yeah, so Kash Patel, I don't know what's going on, but the FBI has been very disappointing in this whole Trump administration. 18 shot in downtown Chicago, violent riot as Pritzker Johnson refused Trump's help. Yeah, they're always going to. So Trump is going to have to just go in there, send the National Guard, and get sued, appeal it, win the court case, have them stay, just like he's been doing with these other cities. Governor-elect of state with highest property taxes threatens to stop paying Fed taxes to stick it to Trump. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are in government or will be who are basically, I mean, we saw with that video the other day, they're basically saying break the law or, break the law in to make Trump look bad is basically what they're saying. It's just insane. The swamp is too deep. Sources claim U.S. set to launch a new phase of Venezuela operations. Yes, we talked about that. Obviously, a strike will happen, but will there be regime change in a somewhat peaceful way? It's kind of asking for a lot, though. Democrats' fundraising collapse forces party into record debt. Yeah, they had to get that loan we talked about. Meanwhile, the Republicans are making a lot of money. Mamdani confronted in the Oval Office over taxing white neighborhoods remarks. Yeah, he's always gonna say that that's not what I was talking about, even though that's literally his quote about the white neighborhoods. But a lot of those people are leaving. So how's he gonna get the money, the tax money? Is AOC stuffing her donors with a bait and switch turkey giveaway? Yeah, AOC is definitely going to be taking Schumer's spot or a potential presidential run with whoever it is, just because she thinks she's more popular than she is. And she is very popular, though. Mamdani endorses activists who said 9/11 was due to capitalism and white supremacy. Yeah, he's had people, he's endorsed people that are worse than that. Trump responds to MTG resignation. I will always appreciate Marjorie. Yes, they're going to be friends. Like, this isn't really anything, to be honest. U.S. State Department calls mass migration an existential threat. Well, you think? This is why Trump won, to be honest. Both times. All three times, I should say. Yes, Chicago, they had the 9 people shot. We just talked about that. And the governor won't do anything about it. He'll say crime has gone down. Trump open to deploying National Guard to New York City if they need it. Yeah, I think he will eventually, but probably not right away. Um, Fetterman laughs at leftists for saying they plan to primary him. Yeah, I don't know. Fetterman's probably here to stay for a while because he has support on both sides, to be honest. Unless a socialist runs, then he'll probably lose because that's what seems to work for Democrats. Panic as climate summit goes up in flames. Yeah, they had this whole climate summit and it went up in flames, believe it or not. Um, so that's interesting. Charlotte area reports over 30,000 absences following ICE arrest. Yeah, this is not just in schools, it's also in jobs. People aren't showing up to work because they're scared of getting deported. Like, welcome to America. Like, it took over 50 years for us to get back to this point where we actually crack down on the law. Illegal immigrant who killed 8-year-old in Idaho crash had a license issued in Oregon. Oh, an illegal immigrant, someone who shouldn't be here at all. Or that 8-year-old would still be alive. 3,500 criminals illegal arrested by ICE in Houston. This was over a long period of time. This isn't just like in one swoop. But yeah, I mean, that's great, but we need more of these because we have people in Idaho too, apparently. Um, but yeah, obviously, with 50 million illegals, this needs to be ramped up a lot. Minneapolis police chief apologizes to Somali community as member lose deportation protection. Yeah, Minneapolis is really, and St. Paul is basically gone, like Dearborn. Moved to a red state for want lower prices, more affordability. Yes, the red states are propping up the country, you could say. 9,700 plus arrests were made in the UK for online posts last year. So that was last year. This year is over 12,000. Over 12,000 people were arrested for posting something online. So, yeah, looks like they're going down that way. Liberal journalist suffers meltdown upon hearing new national anthem in nation's capital. Yeah, that's TDS to the max right there. Thanksgiving cost lowest in 4 years, despite expert predictions. Yeah, the experts said we're going to be in a recession right now, depression, and yeah, lowest in 4 years. So that's amazing. Obviously, that's critical. U.S. officials investigating Chinese Bitcoin mining giant Bitmain. Yeah, Bitcoin's going to go back up soon. It's a good long term thing. Um, a lot of people freak out when there's major swings, but I think Bitcoin will be fine. New law in Ohio may require Walmart and Costco to accept cash payments. Do they not accept cash payments now? Oh, okay, whatever. Well, anyway, yeah, we need to have cash still because once we go full credit, once we go full debit, everything's online, then some weird stuff can happen. Blue Sky's user base plunges after Trump victory as Truth Social edges higher. Yeah, Blue Sky is a joke. I mean, Truth Social isn't that big either, but it's so much bigger compared to Blue Sky. Elon Musk's vision of the future sees work as optional and money as irrelevant due to AI and robots. Yeah, that's what we've been talking about, and that's what Elon Musk has been talking about. Is if we plan it correctly and don't have woke in any AI or the main AI, basically, we'll have a self-sufficient economy where work will be optional, and it's the communist utopia, which is the capitalism final. The end of capitalism is the communist utopia, basically, and that's what that is. But that's obviously a long time away, even though we're entering the intelligence age. Home values surge in these 10 US cities. Yeah, the housing pricing is insane. Everything's overvalued, but yeah, it's just adding to the affordability crisis. I think homes have doubled and tripled just in the past 5 years on average. So, yeah, if you're a young person, it's rough out here. American pasta brands prepared for sales boost as tariffs put pressure on Italian product imports. Yeah, so Trump is always switching up tariffs, and he's been doing that a lot on food lately. So we'll see if that sticks. Owner of the Daily Mail to buy Telegraph for 650 million. Wow, wow. So that's kind of all that's happened. Ukraine finally struck, and Russia is basically winning the war. So we'll see how they respond, and we'll see what happens in Venezuela. Probably something this week, maybe. Um, and then we'll see if there's just one small action or if there's actual regime change. I hope not, to be honest. Unless it's a peaceful way we can do it. But I just don't see how that's going to happen. So, yeah, if anything else happens, I'll let you know.